My love was too overwhelming for her. So I left her life, then she. You ever love someone so much it warps your sense of self? Like your day starts with their name in your head and ends with your last thought being what they must be dreaming about? That was me with Claire. She was sunshine dipped in sarcasm, with eyes that made you question everything and lips that made you forget why you questioned it in the first place. We met in Boston, at a dog park, of all places. I was walking my sister's mutt while she was chasing after her golden retriever who'd somehow managed to snatch my dog's tennis ball. That's how it started. A laugh, a shared coffee, a number exchanged. You know, the usual. I wasn't some desperate sap, just to be clear. I had my life sorted. A decent job as a systems analyst, a paid-off car, a two-bedroom apartment with furniture that didn't scream IKEA starter pack. But Claire was different. She had this aura, a chaos coated in elegance. She made me feel alive, like the protagonist of a story that finally got interesting. At first, she loved how I adored her. Said I saw her in ways no one ever had. I'd show up at her office with lunch, remember her deadlines better than she did, plan weekend getaways tailored to her moods. I learned her coffee order down to the foam density. Some said I did too much, but I just thought I was finally doing love right. Until she started calling it too much. You're too intense, Ryan, she said one night, her eyes refusing to meet mine. Like, everything with you is this tidal wave. I can't breathe. I was stunned. Had I smothered her? All I ever did was care. I need space, she added. This kind of love, it's overwhelming. So I did the noble thing. I gave her what she wanted. I backed off, disappeared from her world like smoke in the wind. No texts, no calls, no accidental run-ins. It broke me, but I wasn't going to force love where it wasn't wanted. What she didn't know was that I wasn't just stepping away. I was watching, not in some creepy, unhinged way. I didn't tail her car or lurk in bushes, but I did keep tabs. Social media was a gift like that. Her new Instagram posts started to shift. Less poetry, more parties. Less books, more rooftop bars. Then came a new guy, Chase. Blonde, six-pack, all teeth and ego. The kind of guy who called women females and never returned shopping carts. She moved in with him within 4 months. Guess my overwhelming love had a short expiration date. Here's the part no one tells you. When you love someone that hard, that deep, and they toss you aside like expired milk, it doesn't just leave a scar. It warps you. It ignites something. Not rage. Not hate. Something colder. Sharper. I didn't want to ruin her life. I wanted her to feel everything I had felt. The confusion, the rejection, the betrayal, but wrapped in something she couldn't name, something that would hollow her from the inside out. And so began the quiet phase of my revenge. I started with her job. Claire was in marketing for a mid-tier cosmetics company that loved image and hated scandal. Through a friend of a friend, I got hold of some internal reports and started feeding anonymous tips, ones laced with just enough truth to sound credible. The audits began shortly after. Not enough to fire her, but enough to shake her confidence. Then came Chase. Oh, Chase. Let's just say I knew a girl who knew a girl who'd spent a weekend with him in Miami while he was on a work trip. Screenshots are powerful things when sent to just the right inbox. I wasn't rushing this. Revenge, after all, is a slow dish. Best served when the victim still believes they're winning. Claire had no idea yet. But soon, she would. The message came on a Thursday night. Just 5 words. Did you do this, Ryan? Claire. I didn't answer. Not yet. By then, the audit at her firm had grown teeth. Someone had conveniently discovered a discrepancy in a client invoice she signed off on 6 months earlier. Nothing criminal, but enough to drag her into 3 weeks of anxiety-ridden HR meetings, one-on-one reviews, and a temporary suspension while things are clarified. It wasn't about destroying her job. That would have been too easy. No, I wanted to chip away at her pride, her sense of invincibility. Meanwhile, Chase's secrets had started bleeding into daylight. The screenshots I'd anonymously sent Claire had been timed for after one of their cozy brunch photo dumps. You know, the ones that scream, perfect couple, but feel hollow when you really look. She hadn't posted anything since. Again, it wasn't about humiliation. Not yet. Just disorientation. Her life was beginning to wobble, and all I had done was give her a little push. But here's where the story starts bending. You see, revenge isn't clean. It doesn't stay in the neat little box you build for it. Once you start pulling strings, you forget how many webs you've spun. One of those webs? Wrapped around a guy named Derek. Derek was Claire's ex before me. Brief, messy, and forgettable to her. But he remembered everything. Especially how she ghosted him when he got laid off and his brother died in the same week. Cold as ice. I found his Reddit posts, his tweets. Bitterness laced with poetry. The man had pain and a long memory. We met once. Quiet bar, no last names. I gave him pieces of what I knew. Chase's Miami side chick, The client invoices, Claire's reputation management, secrets that I'd uncovered in her emails when we were still together. She never logged out on my iPad. Derek didn't need much convincing. He just needed direction. I let Derek do what he did best, spill. Claire was blindsided again, this time by a thread on Twitter that linked her past manipulations with current corporate misconduct. It didn't go viral, but it didn't have to. It reached just enough industry people. Whispers started. A recruiter ghosted her. A speaking engagement got postponed. She was still employed, still standing, but wobbling harder now. That's when she messaged me again. Why are you doing this? I stared at the screen for a long time. I almost felt bad. Almost. But the thing is, Claire always knew how to leave damage behind without ever appearing like the villain. She never screamed, never cheated, as far as I knew, never threw things. But she left you hollow. She made you question if maybe it was your fault, your intensity, your expectations. And then she walked away, arms clean, smile intact. So now I was giving her the same experience, but this time, from the inside out. Then came the twist I hadn't planned for. Derek wasn't just acting out of vengeance. He was digging. Too deep. He found something real, not about Claire, but about her company. Misappropriation of funds, off-the-book sponsorship deals, all linked to the VP she reported to. It had nothing to do with her directly, at least, not yet, but she was close enough to get scorched. And just like that, my small fire turned into something wild. Claire was summoned for a federal inquiry. Suddenly, HR wasn't calling her about invoices. They were asking about wire transfers and meetings she didn't remember attending. It was spiraling. And for the first time, I felt it, fear. This wasn't just about karma anymore. This was bigger. Collateral damage was coming, and I was standing in the blast zone holding the match. Then, something stranger happened. Claire vanished. No posts. No messages. Not even a LinkedIn update. Just gone. And I was left with silence. Until the doorbell rang one night at 2:43 a.m. And there she was, drenched from the rain. Eyes sunken. Hair a mess. And a single sentence. You wanted me to break. Congratulations. She looked nothing like the woman I remembered. No sharp eyeliner. No curated outfit. Just Claire, raw, unfiltered, and furious. I let her in. We sat in the living room, the silence heavy and electric. Rain tapped against the windows like it knew something was coming. Say what you came to say, I finally muttered. She stared at me for a full minute before speaking. You were right about Chase. About everything, probably. But this isn't justice, Ryan. This is cruelty. I leaned back, arms crossed. You didn't mind cruelty when it was subtle. When you disappeared on Derek. When you ghosted me, blamed me for loving you too much. I didn't ghost you, she snapped. I told you I needed space. Claire, people don't need space from love. They need space from guilt. That shut her up. She rubbed her face like she was trying to wake herself from a nightmare. I'm being investigated for crimes I didn't commit, she said. The company's a mess. My boss fled to Argentina. People are implying I was involved. I'm being called a facilitator in the media. My name is in articles next to wire fraud. You were his right hand, I said flatly. I didn't know. Ryan, she screamed, standing up, voice cracking. You think I had access to those accounts? I was a strategist, not finance. They used me as a pretty face on campaigns and pushed the dirty stuff underneath. I didn't move. I couldn't tell if I believed her. Part of me still wanted her to suffer, but another part, buried deep, felt a twinge of something closer to pity. Then she said something that chilled me. I didn't come here for forgiveness. I came here to warn you. That got my attention. You think you're in control of this, she continued, eyes locking with mine. But Derek's not just some bitter ex. He's obsessive, vindictive, and unstable. He's not working with you. He's using you. I made that mistake too. What do you mean? She took out her phone, trembling, and showed me screenshots, messages between Derek and someone under an anonymous handle. But the details, they were personal. About me, my job, my sister's name, my address. He'd been watching me too. And then it clicked. Derek didn't want just revenge on Claire. He wanted all of us broken. I thought I was the one orchestrating everything, I said slowly. Claire gave a bitter laugh. That's the irony. You thought you were the puppet master. But Derek's been feeding both of us poison, just in different flavors. The weight of it hit me like bricks. I had set something in motion. But I was never the only one playing the game. I pulled out my own phone and started digging. And there it was, an anonymous email from 2 weeks ago, tipping me off about Chase's Miami trip. I'd assumed it came from someone I'd paid. It hadn't. It was Derek. He had started that domino, knowing I'd pushed the rest over. He knew I still cared. He counted on it. He's unhinged, Claire said quietly. And he's coming for you next. If you think your job, your name, your sister are safe, think again. Suddenly, my heart was racing. I realized I wasn't the Avenger anymore. I was another pawn. And the worst part? The only person who could help me now was Claire. So, she said, standing up again, we can burn alone, or we can end him together. I looked at her, the woman who once called my love too overwhelming, the one who left me hollow, and I nodded, because sometimes karma isn't a quiet whisper in the dark. Sometimes it's two broken people walking into the fire hand in hand, not for love, but for war. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.